In a functioning economy, the world doesn't pay you for your effort, it pays you for the value you bring to the exchange. Most people struggle because they focus on how hard they are working, rather than the logic of the trade. Jesus used parables about pearls, hidden treasures, and vineyard workers to explain that value is often subjective, hidden, and governed by specific laws of exchange. This isn't about working harder, it's about strategic recognition. It's about being able to spot a high-value opportunity that others miss, and knowing exactly what you need to sacrifice to obtain it. In this video, we are stripping away the emotional complaints about what's fair, and looking at the cold mechanics of how value is identified, traded, and retained in a competitive world. A merchant seeking fine pearls finds one of great price. Instead of trying to negotiate a discount or buy it on credit, he goes and sells everything he has to buy it. This is the logic of extreme focus. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they spread their resources across 10 decent pearls instead of one great one. The merchant understood that to gain something of elite value, you must be willing to liquidate the mediocre. This is a high-stakes trade. In a career or business, this means identifying the one skill or project that has the power to change your entire trajectory, and then ruthlessly cutting away every other distraction. Total commitment isn't just about effort, it's about the mechanical reality that the highest-tier assets require you to be all in. If you aren't willing to trade your current comfort for a future peak, you stay a merchant of average pearls. A landowner hires workers at different times of the day, some at dawn, some at noon, and some just an hour before sunset. At the end of the day, he pays them all the same daily wage. The early workers are furious because they think fairness means getting more than the latecomers. But the owner's logic is simple. Did we not agree on this price? I have fulfilled my contract. This reveals the logic of the agreement. In the marketplace, your value is determined by the contract you sign, not by comparing yourself to others. The early workers were happy with their wage until they saw someone else get a better deal for less time. Their ego destroyed their satisfaction. To be a builder, you must focus on your own ROI, return on investment. If the agreement you made provides you with the value you need to grow, another person's luck or shortcut is irrelevant data. Comparing your journey to others is a mechanical error that leads to bitterness and stalled momentum. In this story, a servant owes a king an impossible sum of money, a debt he could never repay in a lifetime. The king, showing mercy, wipes the debt clean. But immediately after, that same servant finds a peer who owes him a tiny amount and has him thrown into prison. When the king hears of this, he revokes the mercy and hands the servant over to the jailers. Beyond the moral lesson, this reveals the mechanical logic of flow. Holding a debt over someone, whether it's a financial loan, a grudge, or a past mistake, creates a blockage in your own system. From a builder's perspective, the energy you spend tracking what others owe you is energy diverted from your own production. The unforgiving servant failed to realize that his own freedom was tied to the principle of release. In modern terms, if you are obsessed with getting even or holding on to the past, you remain mentally and operationally tethered to that debt. You cannot move at high speed while carrying the weight of an old ledger. Releasing others isn't a favor to them. It is a mechanical necessity to clear your own pipeline for future growth. This is one of the most practical and often misunderstood parables. A steward is about to be fired for mismanagement. Realizing his time is short, he quickly visits his master's debtors and slashes their bills, effectively buying their future favor with his master's current resources. Surprisingly, the master commends him for his shrewdness. The logic here is resource agility, using a temporary diminishing asset to secure a permanent future position. The steward understood that his current authority was a wasting asset with an expiration date. Instead of trying to hoard what was already lost, he liquidated his current influence to create social capital for the next phase of his life. This is strategic pivot logic. In the professional world, this means using your current job, network, or platform to build the skills and relationships you will need for your next move. You don't wait until you are unemployed to build a network. You use the assets of your current position to ensure your future stability. It's about being shrewd, recognizing the window of opportunity and moving your resources before that window closes. To become a master of the trade, you must synthesize these three mechanical principles: extreme focus, contractual clarity, and resource agility. Most people fail because they are all in on the wrong things, or they are shrewd but lack the integrity to honor their agreements. A builder understands that these logic points are the gears of a single machine. Synthesis means recognizing that your total commitment, the pearl, is your engine, but your agreements, the vineyard, are your tracks. If you are committed but constantly complaining about the fairness of your contracts, you lose momentum. Simultaneously, you apply shrewdness, the steward, to ensure that your current engine is always building the tracks for your next destination. You don't just work, you trade. You don't just commit, you allocate. By combining these, you move from being a laborer who is at the mercy of the market to a strategist who dictates the terms of their own exchange. Your exchange rate is the mechanical ratio of what you give, your time, energy, and skill, compared to what you actually receive in terms of assets, stability, and growth. Many people suffer from a poor exchange rate because they are trading high-value, non-renewable hours for low-value, decent pearls that never lead to a breakthrough. To rewrite your tomorrow, you must perform a cold, unsentimental audit of how you are spending your primary currency, your life. The marketplace operates as a neutral system of cause and effect. It does not reward your personal needs or your history, but rather the specific value you provide and the shrewdness with which you manage your trades. By treating your time as a finite asset and auditing your exchange rate today, you move from being a passive participant in the economy to a strategic architect of your own wealth. To improve this rate, you must first liquidate the mediocre. This means identifying the average pearls in your life, those projects, habits, or commitments that consume 80% of your resources but provide only 20% of your real-world value, and ruthlessly selling them off to afford your pearl of great price. You must also learn to honor the ledger by ending the habit of comparing your wage to that of others. By auditing your current contracts and focusing entirely on fulfilling your side of the deal, you build a track record of reliability that increases your own ROI. Finally, you must learn to convert wasting assets by looking at your current job or status and asking what permanent skills, connections, or data you can extract today that will remain a valuable asset tomorrow. Success is not a miracle, it is the logical result of an optimized exchange.